And from Colorado, I left the promised land and found the cheapest flight to Europe was actually to Reykjavik in Iceland. So I ended up flying there and then headed north, going towards the West Fjords. No, the West Fjords. Some tourists were calling them fjords. And found myself at the Arctic Fox Center for a few days before I kept heading around the fjords and had a moment of realization. It's like I got blinkers. Anyway, it's what is it? It's kind of just cold and cold and windy and cold. And I don't know, I kind of had a moment. Hey, like I was thinking, I guess I'm not really sure, like, you know, what's this adventure all about? And I don't know, a few things had kind of caught me a little bit off guard. Like I always thought like I was the bike man, do you know what I mean? Like the bike man, and everything about me was like bike. And I don't know, I just see these adventures where, like, you know, reading about, you know, these guys. Oh, hey there. Holy shit, mate. What a shit. Okay, here we go. Like, okay, not very often do you get a dude on a bike in the middle of, mate, what are you doing, man? Like, this is crazy. Going to the tunnel? Actually, how about I ride through? This is crazy. There's a dude on a bike, 1 second. It's pretty amazing the people you bump into. They were McKinley and Wyatt, 2 Alaskan hiking guides. And it was riding and talking with them that I decided that I would go back to the Arctic Fox Center and volunteer as a tour guide, educating and telling people about the Arctic foxes that live in Iceland.
Isn't life awesome? Isn't this great?
Oh, look at this. Oh, isn't that good? Yummy. Arr, arr. Oh, oi, give it back. Should be filming you, mate. Look at this bloke. Look at this bloke. What a champ. What a champ. What a champ. Arctic foxes are possibly the coolest animals you could ever have. As a tour guide at the Arctic Fox Center, it was your job to show people around and teach them about the foxes and show them Maury and Ingi, the 2 foxes that live there. Oi! Oh fuck, I forgot that. Oi, Ingi! Shit! Ingi, you gotta give it to me, mate. It's also really good as a volunteer. You would live in a volunteer house with the rest of the volunteers and would go on road trips where Dan would showcase his amazing driving skills and give Michael a heart attack in the process. Jesus. By far, though, the best part of the volunteer gig was being able to hang out with the 2 foxes. We'd usually just run around in the pens and chase them, and they would chew on every single thing they could get their hands on. Dude, what are you doing? So we've got one fox that wants to eat them. And then you are the most timid animal I've... I just want to destroy everything, Maury. And going back to that moment of realization in that cold, windy spot, I realized I lived and believed this life of transiency where bike is life and everything else just eventually just passes by. And I realized I wanted to change that turning back to the Fox Center, while it wasn't the first time I'd had this feeling to turn back, it was the first time that I ever actually did. And it was this incredible experience, this really rich experience, and I tell myself now that I'll have to remind myself of that cold, windy spot whenever something in the future just happens to pass by and grabs me. And after having finished the West Fjords, I was sadly running out of time and rode back to Reykjavik to catch a flight to the UK. And I gotta say, I loved Iceland. Man, I really love that place. It's very enchanting, this mix of beauty and harshness, almost a brutality. And I have no doubt that I'll go back there, that I'll return. And next time with much more winter biking experience, that I'll maybe, just maybe, cross it in the winter.